Hey guys, welcome back. This is Brian from the BTNHD, and yes, another beautiful SCCM video for you guys. And today is all about configuring your software update point to deliver definition updates using automatic deployment rules, which is an awesome feature within SCCM 2012 R2. So let's get started. So I have my console already up and running. We need to get into the software library, and we need to get into software updates and expand that. And we're going to go inside the automatic deployment rules. I already created one for my endpoint protection, but I'm going to show you guys how to create one for yourself. So from here, we want to go into the tab and create a automatic deployment rule. We're going to provide the automatic deployment rule a name. So let's do automatic deployment rule for Silverlight. We're not going to do any template right now, but we are going to select the collection. So click on browse and choose your collection. I'm going to pick all Windows 10 systems because that's the one that I created in the past with you guys. So we're going to click OK. I'm going to leave this as the default. Each time the rule runs and finds a new update, add an existing software update or create a new one. I want it to add to the existing software update group. I don't want that to be created every time it finds a new update. We're going to leave this as the default and we're going to click next. This is really up to you. But for me, I'm going to only leave the detail level to only error messages, because if you have only success and error messages, that's going to be a huge overload on your machine, and that's a lot of logs, and I don't want that. So I only want error messages. I'm going to leave everything as the default, and we're going to click on next. I'm going to pick date released or revised, and we're going to click on value to find. I'm going to do it the last 1 day, and then we need to pick our product. So click on product, and right here in the bottom, just click items to find, and I'm going to do Silverlight. Okay, found Silverlight, click on it. And we're going to click OK. From here, we're going to click on Next. From here, you're able to customize the schedule. I like to run the rule on a schedule right here, so I'm going to customize it. From here, you're able to customize it the way you want it. By default, it's set to 7 days, but I'm going to change it for 2 hours. There it goes, and we're going to click OK, and we're going to click Next. Now, by default, time based on is client local time. From my understanding, for what the research I've done so far, it looks like if you do UTC, it's a better approach. It's best practice to use UTC, so that's why I'm using UTC for now. I'm going to change the specific time to 2 hours. Excellent. And I am going to change the installation deadline to as soon as possible. So we're going to click on next on that. From here, I'm going to leave everything as default. I want the user notifications to hide in Software Center and all notifications. I'm not going to have a deadline behavior or a device restart behavior. I'm going to leave that stuff as is, and we're going to click on next. For alerts, I'm going to leave the default as generate an alert when the rule fails, which that's what I want. And I'm definitely going to check this to generate an alert when the following conditions are met. Okay, these are great to have, and I'm going to click next here. At the bottom, I'm going to leave it as default. I'm not going to be touching this, and we're going to click next. The only thing that I'm going to be doing within the download settings is underneath the deployment options. I'm going to check this off, download software updates from the distribution point and install. Definitely I want that. Everything else I'm going to leave as the default, and we're going to click on next. Now, you can either select a deployment package or create a new one. I'm definitely going to create a new one, and I'm going to call this Silverlight Updates. Okay, let's keep it nice and simple. Now, the package source, you got to make sure that this package source exists. If it doesn't exist, it will fail. I actually placed it within my SCCM, and you have to make sure it's a UFC pass. So let's do BJ-SCCM, I think it is. Awesome. And within my sources, I created a folder called updates, endpoints, and this is where I have all that stuff at. So right here within my updates, I'm going to create a folder called Silverlight. Okay. Make sure I spell it right. Excellent. I'm going to double click on that, and I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it in here. Excellent. Default, and we're going to click next. We're going to pick our distribution point, so we're going to click on add, distribution points, and I only have one, but most likely you have multiple, so just pick the ones or the one that you need. Click OK, click on next. Now specify the download location for this automatically rule. I don't have a location on my network that has these files, so most likely I'm going to be retrieving them from the internet, and we're going to click on next. Definitely need English. Click next. A nice little summary of what's going on, and click next, and it's going to start working. Once you get that green check mark, awesome, and we are going to close that up. As you can see under the automatic deployment rules, I have automatic deployment rules for Silverlight. That's the one that we created. Awesome. All right, so once you create your automatic deployment rule for Silverlight or whatever product you picked during the wizard, you want to right click on it and you want to do run now. You're going to get a nice little dialog box that says you have initiated an action to run the selected rule. When your new software updates are found by the rule, the software updates will be added to the software update group specified in the rule. Click OK. So most likely you're going to see it here. Again, it takes a while for this to show up. And I was like freaking out because I'll say to myself, like, what's going on? Why is it not showing up? Why is it not showing up? But within the deployment packages, it is there. But for some reason, it takes forever here. Now, the way that you could check if you're getting anything is if you go into your File Explorer and you go to the location of where you dropped it. For me, was my D drive sources updates. Remember, we created that folder Silverlight. And if you start seeing stuff populate here, that means it's working. If I go back to updates, endpoint was the same approach. This took a while for it to populate, but I'm going to wait a little bit with you guys and see if it does show up. And that's it, guys. That is how we create automatic deployment rules within SCCM 2012 R2 to customize our software update point. This makes a lot of sense. It's a little bit, I love this because it keeps me nice and organized when I'm dealing with the updates. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget about hitting that like button, as well as don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get the latest and greatest tips, tricks, and hacks from this guy, and also geeky related topics. And I catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.